In the heart of bustling Novgorod, where the sun glinted off golden domes and the air thrummed with the rhythm of commerce, lived Sadko, a man not born to wealth but to a melody that resided deep within his soul. His fingers danced on the strings of his psaltery, weaving tales of faraway lands and whispering secrets the wind carried across the vast expanse of the sea. Unlike the boisterous heroes sung by bards, Sadko craved not glory on the battlefield, but success on the open water, a yearning that gnawed at him like a persistent winter chill. However, the path to becoming a merchant proved as treacherous as any storm-tossed voyage. The wealthy elite of Novgorod, a tightly knit circle guarded by greed and arrogance, scoffed at his dreams. Sadko, a mere psaltery player, was an unwelcome melody in their symphony of wealth. Yet, their indifference only fueled the fire in his belly. One starless night, as the city slumbered beneath a cloak of inky darkness, Sadko made a pact as audacious as any whispered in a tavern by a drunken sailor. He challenged the merchants to a wager, his voice ringing with a defiance that echoed off the silent buildings. "There is a golden fish in the very depths of the sea," he declared, his eyes gleaming with a spark of madness, "a creature worth more than all your hoarded treasures combined." The merchants, amusement flickering in their eyes, readily agreed. After all, what was a humble psaltery player compared to their vast experience and knowledge of the sea? Little did they know, fate had a twist crueler than the most cunning merchant's bartering ploy. Sadko, guided by whispers carried on the salt-laden breeze, ventured out onto the churning waters. The sea, a capricious entity, seemed to respond to his unwavering resolve. The skies cleared, the sun blazed down like a benevolent god, and a sense of anticipation crackled in the air. Then, with a tug that nearly sent him overboard, Sadko felt it the unmistakable resistance of something magnificent on the other end of his line. As he hauled in his catch, the gasp of the crew echoed across the deck. There, gleaming in the sunlight, was a fish unlike any they had ever seen. Its scales shimmered with a brilliance that rivaled the sun, and its very presence seemed to hum with an otherworldly energy. The merchants, their faces drained of colour, were forced to concede defeat. Sadko, the ostracized bard, had not only secured their backing but also unearthed a treasure beyond their wildest dreams. With the golden fish as his calling card, Sadko set sail, his heart brimming with a newfound confidence. He traversed uncharted waters, bartered in exotic ports, and amassed riches beyond the wildest dreams of even the most successful merchants of Novgorod. His name became a legend whispered on the lips of traders from distant lands. Sadko, the bard who had tamed the sea and unearthed its bounty. But the sea, like a beautiful woman, could be as fickle as she was alluring. On their return voyage, laden with treasures from 1,000 ports, the winds died. An oppressive silence descended upon the ship, broken only by the creak of the rigging and the hollow thump of waves against the hull. A creeping dread settled over the crew, for they had failed to appease Tsar Morskoy, the enigmatic ruler of the deep. Sadko, realizing their folly, knew a terrible price had to be paid. With a heart heavy as an anchor, he addressed his crew, his voice laced with a quiet dignity. "This misfortune is because of me," he confessed. To appease the sea god, a sacrifice must be made. Then, with a resolute glint in his eyes, he stepped towards the railing. The crew erupted in protest, their pleas swallowed by the vast emptiness of the sea. But Sadko, his gaze fixed on the horizon, remained unmoved. With a final, heart-wrenching look at the sky, he plunged into the churning waters, a solitary figure swallowed by the unforgiving depths. As he descended, the darkness pressed in on him, the water an icy shroud. He braced himself for the inevitable, but instead of the crushing embrace of oblivion, he found himself before a magnificent palace, its coral walls shimmering with an otherworldly luminescence. This was the underwater domain of Tsar Morskoy, a realm both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Sadko's arrival had caused a stir in the palace. News of his musical prowess had reached even the depths of the sea, and Tsar Morskoy, a creature as curious as he was powerful, desired to hear him play. The music that flowed from Sadko's fingers was unlike anything ever heard in the underwater kingdom. It was a melody that spoke of the wind whispering through the pines, of the sun glinting off a distant shore, and of a love that transcended even the boundaries of mortality. The music filled the palace with a bittersweet yearning, a longing for the world above that even the most powerful ruler of the deep could not quell. Tsar Morskoy and his wife, Tsaritsa Voditsa, were entranced. They offered him unimaginable riches, a life of luxury in their underwater kingdom, and even the hand of their beautiful daughter, Volkova, a mermaid with hair like spun moonlight and eyes that held the mystery of the ocean depths. Sadko, however, was not swayed by these riches or beauty. Though captivated by Volkova's ethereal grace, his heart remained firmly anchored to his life above. He confessed his unwavering love for Lubava, his wife, a love that had weathered storms both literal and metaphorical. Tsar Morskoy, impressed by his honesty and unwavering loyalty, presented him with a choice. He could stay and become a part of their world, or he could return home, but only if he could complete a seemingly impossible task. He had to play a song so beautiful, so filled with the essence of the world above, that it would break the spell of longing that had gripped the underwater kingdom. The pressure was immense. Failure meant remaining trapped in the depths forever. Yet, Sadko readily agreed. He poured his entire being into his music, weaving a tapestry of melody that spoke of sun-drenched meadows, bustling markets, and the warmth of a loved one's embrace. The music echoed through the coral halls, stirring memories and emotions long dormant in the hearts of the sea people. Even the stoic Tsar Morskoy felt a tear roll down his cheek. As the final notes faded, a hush fell over the palace. Then, a miracle. The oppressive weight that had shrouded the underwater kingdom began to lift. Sunlight, seemingly filtered through the vast expanse of water above, streamed through the windows, illuminating the palace with an ethereal glow. The sea people, their faces filled with newfound joy, looked at Sadko with gratitude. Tsar Morskoy, his voice filled with respect, declared, "You have succeeded, Sadko. Your music has brought light back to our world." He then offered him a safe passage back to the surface, a parting gift, a single, perfect pearl that shimmered with the colors of the aurora borealis. Volkova, however, remained heartbroken. Unable to bear the thought of losing Sadko, she made a desperate plea to her father. With a heavy heart, Tsar Morskoy granted her wish. He transformed her, not into a human, but into a mighty river that would forever connect the sea to the land, a constant reminder of Sadko's bravery and the power of love. Sadko, washed ashore on the banks of the newly formed river, found his way back to Novgorod. He was a changed man, his eyes filled with the wisdom of the deep and a newfound appreciation for the simple joys of life. He reunited with Lubava, their love even stronger for having been tested. His wealth, a testament to his adventures, allowed him to live comfortably and share his stories with all who would listen. The legend of Sadko, the bard who dared to bargain with the sea and returned with a tale as vast and magnificent as the ocean itself, became a beacon of hope, reminding everyone that even the most ordinary man, armed with courage, talent, and unwavering love, could achieve extraordinary feats. And whenever the wind howled through the city of Novgorod, some swore they could hear a faint melody carried on the breeze, a melancholic yet beautiful song that spoke of sacrifice, love, and the mysteries that lay hidden beneath the waves.